after the 10th horn. The thing that looks like the Judeo-Christian lamb, which is in fact the bipartisan system hallmarked by these two presidents who give rise to everything we know today that destroys economic liberty and leads to the 1920s Depression and the New Deal in the 30s, which leads to Ezra's eagle. And John sees all this, and John's like, hey, this beast that you've allowed to rise up in the place of the one God created, by the way, it's going to become a world superpower who gains the power to make fire come down from heaven. When does America conquer the skies? When are the Wright brothers? Interesting. All this after 1909. Just like the Book of Mormon seems to predict with the reign of the judges, 60% of the Book of Mormon focuses on the reign of the judges. Okay, he that deceiveth them, look at what else happens with this new government. He has power to give life unto, watch the pronouns here, watch the language. Okay, he, who's he? He's the beast like the lamb with the two horns. And he, the lamb beast, the lamb beast has power to give life unto himself, his own image. That the image of himself should speak and cause people to worship him. How can a thing bear witness of itself and prop of itself and support itself and its own image? Who's creating the image of this thing? This is propaganda. This is a propaganda-based government. This is an intelligence community dedicated to the perpetuation of the system it's put in place, convincing you it's the lamb, so that you'll go out and do all the killing for the lamb, thinking it's the lamb, under this system of supposed freedom. What's freedom? Freedom is a bipartisan system where you have to be a Democrat or a Republican. That's crazy.
Yeah, sure.
But we bought it. I grew up perpetuating that. I was a dyed-in-the-wool conservative Republican. And all the problems in the world were not my fault. They were the Democrats' fault. And that was such a convenient lie to believe, because then I could pat myself on the back. And what does this government do starting in 1909, 1910, 1913, 16th Amendment, 17th Amendment? It takes everybody, everyone, all. He doesn't say some, he says all. Even the free. Why would John say that? Even the free. Even the free have what on them? The mark of the beast. Starting in 1910. So what happens if you're waiting for the mark of the beast and it happened 115 years ago? What a great deception to convince people that they haven't even seen the thing that happened 115 years ago, because the very people who believe that they're part of the restored gospel of Jesus Christ don't believe it's important enough to merit a worldwide conspiracy against it. So nothing's about us, right? It's all about America. It's all about everybody. It's all about Washington, D.C. It's not. It's all about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And President Hinckley got this. And President Hinckley bore witness of this in a talk he gave in 2001 October after the fall of the Twin Towers. Go read that, and it says how basically that was targeted at the church to bring down the church. Because he understands the conspiracy. Now this leads us to Ezra's eagle. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Ezra's eagle, but you know all those Christians who are like, hey, you Mormons aren't Christian because you removed stuff from the Bible and you added stuff to the Bible. Well, that's what they did with this. This is in, Mitch, my friend, gave me a 1609 Geneva Bible to study. And in it is the second book of Ezra. In 1610, 12, 20, 1700, 1776, 1820. The second book of Ezra is in the King James Version of the Bible. And the Christians removed it from the Bible. And then they tell us that we're not Christians when we bring the Book of Mormon into the picture. But this is part of the original Bible. It was there for the whole time, since the Bible existed as we know it today. And Ezra picks up right where John leaves off. It tells you how America's new beast kingdom, which is in league with the devil, will become a world superpower because of the blood covenant it made with the devil to murder Joseph Smith and to expel the saints and to kill them if they ever tried to go to Missouri. Why would America support the murder of the saints in Missouri? We don't even talk. We don't talk about that in church history. You know that happened? And the brethren is too collective and good natured. Have we been off mic the whole time? Maybe that's
For a little bit.
Okay, so what if everything you know about history is a lie? How big would the lie be? What happened to that guy? Why? He's meddling with the international system. That's huge. Or that's huge. And we got a guy right now meddling with. What happened to him? Okay. I'm going to jump all this. Because this just, Ezra's take too much time for this. But I want to talk about that. First Daniel chapter 4. Okay. For this. Be rude to the Pierces. I know that they wanted us to stop by 2.
Or later. You're welcome to stay. We just have work to do in the morning, so we're going to get
Okay, look at this chapter. Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar's kind of having these dreams, right? And he's relying upon Daniel to help him understand these dreams. And Nebuchadnezzar comes around and realizes the God of Daniel is the God. And then he has this really disturbing dream. He calls upon Daniel, whose name in Babylon was Belteshazzar, and he says, look, I tell you what this lady means. There was a tree that grew strong, that reached heaven, and world superpower. It covered the earth. Fair, and the fruit thereof was much. But I saw in my dream that the tree was cut down, and it was bound with a band of iron. And I was given the heart of a what? Okay, keep that thought. Watch this.
What book are you in?
This is Daniel chapter 7. When Nebuchadnezzar's getting the lion, and the lion in his heart, in the beginning, and start to break away from the realization that Nebuchadnezzar had before. So this is a prophecy of the last day, and it's a prophecy to aid us in our understanding of the book of Revelation. And he told, look, I saw my kingdom like a tree cut down. I saw it so that I couldn't recover my kingdom. And even worse, I was changed to this eye believes in God to given the heart of a beast that follows after the way of violence and war and compulsion. And you can understand why he'd be disturbed by that. Nebuchadnezzar's disturbed. And he wants Daniel to explain to him what's going on. And Daniel says, the tree that thou sawest, whose leaves were fair, it is thou. This is you, Nebuchadnezzar. This is your kingdom. The tree is you and your kingdom. And your kingdom's going to be taken from you until when? Till the seventh dispensation. Adam, Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Peter, Joseph Smith. In the dispensation of Joseph Smith, Nebuchadnezzar, Most High, like at the end of the days, you, Nebuchadnezzar, will lift up your eyes to heaven. Who's Nebuchadnezzar? Who rules over the feathered eagle kingdom the last days recently? Now, what does that have to do with the Book of Mormon? The Book of Mormon doesn't deal in this imagery. It just gives it to you plain as day. It doesn't tell you that the Gadiantans were a beast. It tells you that the people of God just joined them and gave them soul management. And this soul management of the government becomes so destructive to the Nephites that by the 21st year of the new millennium, what has happened?